This year, I had a special Valentine's Day stream, and I wanted to have some fun with my viewers by doing a themed Stardew Valley challenge. When looking for Valentine-specific speedruns or challenges though, not a lot came up. One thing to know about me too is that I am not a speedrunner, and I usually get a little distracted on streams. Something coming. So something like Marriage Percent is perfect for this theme, but just not for me. And after some more brainstorming, failed research, and realizing I'm doing this alone, I came up with the perfect idea. A singles fest. And here's how it would work. I would play the first season of a new Stardew file, and during that month I could not talk to, accept quests, or give gifts to any of the romanceable NPCs. To make it more challenging for myself, and to prove to the residents that I didn't need a partner to thrive in this town, I also let chat vote on a non-marriage candidate to be my platonic spouse. Someone who I would have to go talk to every day, no matter what, and cherish with every fiber of my single little heart. I also set a goal to have 10,000 gold in my pockets by the end of the first season, because I clearly was going to have time on my hands, not fawning over a villager, and I might as well flaunt my success to the other singles in the town. Before I began the challenge, I put all the non-marriage adult NPCs into a wheel, where I had to randomly pick 3 villagers that chat could choose our final one from, and they chose everyone's favorite carpenter, Robin. And with our spouse in mind and the rules set out, it was time to get started. When creating my character, we had to make it known what our intentions were moving into this town. So our name has to be Pringle, because we are what? Single as a Pringle. And the first day was wildly different from what I normally do. I usually plant crops for the community center, get forageables to donate, and of course run around like a madman introducing myself to every NPC for one of the first quests. But we wouldn't even be completing that quest for very obvious reasons. So after saying hi to my new chickens, who will be one of my main sources of companionship throughout this run, I ran up to start the loving, platonic relationship with Robin. And after having a good start to the run, I decided to go to Pierre's to buy as many potato seeds as possible, since I wasn't worrying about any of the community center bundles. But then, something devastating happened. Just all over potato. Look! Hi. Oh wait, that's... Do I have to restart? Do I restart? Having that absolute terrible start to the run, we kept spirits high and began a new identical run, and did all the same things as last time. Getting back to where I was thankfully only took a few minutes, and I decided to spend the rest of my first day looking for forageables in Cindersap Forest, actively avoiding the singles in town, planting my potatoes, and heading to bed. With the first day behind us, it might be a good time to talk about my strategy going into this run, as little of a strategy as it is. But I do have over 700 hours in this game, so I mustered up all the knowledge and thought in the first month 2 avenues were going to be the way I made money. Fishing and crops, specifically focusing on potatoes and strawberries. Strawberries are by far the best spring crop you can get year one, but you can only get them nearly halfway through the month, and they cost 100 gold each, meaning I would have to save every penny to buy as many as I could. So, my plan was to get eggs from my chickens, forageables from the town, fish near the ocean, and then sell those fish to Willies for instant gold, and then buy potatoes with any gold I made, all while saying hi to Robin on my loop around the town. Going into day 2, my strategy was in full motion, where after making our rounds, saying hi to our queen, we headed down to talk to another non-romanceable NPC to grab our fishing rod and start our single empire. It was only when I was going up to Pierre's after fishing that Chat and I found a fun way to let the single villagers know of my presence without technically talking to them, thus starting our side goal to always dig in the trash if there was only single NPCs around to see. I also stopped by the request board next to Pierre's, because though most days I forget it exists, checking this for non-marriage NPC quest would also be a great way to increase our daily income. Day 3 was honestly more of the same, getting a little bit more fishing done because of the rain taking care of my crops, but I of course made another fatal mistake at the end of the day, not remembering that our mildly liked store owner is closed on Wednesdays, and not wanting to succumb to the capitalist overlord, and because there's no way this man is not single, I called an early day, turned in my quest to Demetrius, ignored his daughter, and headed to bed. Day 4 really had nothing out of our now established daily routine until the afternoon, where for the last in-game day during the stream, I want to do something nice for our spouse. After asking chat what Robin might like, I headed to Gus's to buy her some spaghetti, where I then sadly realized we didn't have enough money to buy that, so we bought her a slightly more sad breadstick that she seemed to enjoy. I think. Day 5 started the best it could, with our non-romanceable friend Marnie coming to our plot with our new companion to keep away the loneliness, a dog we properly named Beyonce. After saying hi to our new pooch, we kept the loop going, talking to Robin, fishing, foraging, you know the drill. After getting back to our farm at the end of the day though, I realized I should probably start turning the many forageables I've been collecting into wild seeds as prep for the strawberries. So with 30 seeds to my name, I planted them and headed to bed. Day 6 didn't have much to report, but after doing what I'm now calling my single life rut, on day 7 we finally had a bit of luck, so I started the descent down into the mines, hoping to not only find valuable ores and gems to sell for gold, but also quartz, one of Robin's light gifts. After getting a decent amount of resources, I immediately sold them and went to bed in my house made for one. Day 10 was the next day something out of the ordinary rut happened, as our first batch of potatoes were ready, so after plucking those and going about my normal route, I sold them, surprised at realizing I was already halfway to my goal of 10,000 gold. With that thought in the back of my mind, I started thinking through what would happen if I completed this goal early and won over my spouse, all with a plate of cookies in my hands from my mom I got on day 11. Day 11 was also the day we got the quest I've been waiting for, Robin's Lost Axe. My acts of service love language kicked in after reading the mail. I sprinted down to Cindersap Forest and triumphantly returned it to her. Feeling confident on my way home too, I decided to keep the single hate going by making the seemingly only NPC to stand next to the trash cans hate me even more. Day 12 was the day before the egg festival, so I knew today would be the last day to sell everything to buy as many strawberries as I could. So after selling the rest of my potatoes, the caught forageables I could gather around town, and any fish I caught, I went to bed, realizing I had already beat my original goal. Alright, well I guess thanks for watching everyone. No, but really I didn't think this was going to be that easy. But I guess not playing for productivity and worrying about the community center is something I've never done. Waking up on day 13, I walked outside, towering over my empire, wondering what to do next with all my wealth. And I thought, why not make the singles even more jealous by growing it? I set out to complete a new sub-goal, if you will. How much money can I make with 10,000 gold worth of strawberries the rest of the season? This would turn my intense grind from the beginning to more of a speed run. Still taking care of my chickens and talking with Robin every day, I would then primarily focus all of my time growing and tending to these strawberries. With that new goal in mind, I walked into town for the egg festival. Probably scaring Pierre running up to his booth to give him $10,000, I got over 100 strawberries to continue my empire and absolutely destroyed at the egg hunt before scurrying back to my farm as I tried to plant and water each strawberry, getting to only about 75% of them before almost passing out in my field. Waking up with less energy on day 14 due to my late night with the crops, I watered them, said hi to Beyonce, gathered my eggs from Anne and Potpourri, which I now learned is a Harvest Moon reference, and said hi to Robin, and repeated that for the next few days. Then, the Stardew gods blessed me on day 16 as it rained, saving me like 5 minutes of continuous watering and filling up my watering can. So I took one of the quartz I'd been hoarding in my chest, walked up to her house, and played in the rain soaking wet until she would let me in. After giving her what I could only assume would be a very slippery and wet quartz, I beelined it back to my place to get dry and go to bed. Skipping ahead to day 18, it was another glorious rainy day, and while checking on my chickens, I noticed that these days inside were leaving their hay supply very low. Seeing as they've been with me through thick and thin since day 1, I got them more hay, kissed them goodbye, and made the wet trek to see our favorite girl. Day 21 was my first strawberry harvest, where I was only able to get roughly 80 since I wasn't able to water them all day 13. I was so proud of my massive harvest, I ran to show Robin, gave her a big consensual hug, turned in one of Jody's cauliflower requests at Pierre's, avoided Harvey like the plague he'd probably diagnosed me with, and once again beat my original goal, this time in one day, as I drifted off to sleep. And while I was sleeping, I had the brilliant idea with what I could do with the vast amount of money I made, seeing as I won't need it as my character will seemingly mysteriously stop doing anything after this month. I woke up to a rainy day on the 22nd with my plan. I would donate all my money to the woman who helped us get through this lonely month, and after buying out her store, I would make a shrine to her with the resources she so lovingly got for us. And don't worry, I'm gonna make sure to tell Robin to use that money on her and Demetrius going to Ginger Island or something, because using it on her singles, kids, would be against my rules. Really after that, the days were pretty straightforward. Wake up, spend what seemed like hours watering each and every strawberry, give Beyonce enough water to keep her healthy to write a new album, getting my eggs, waiting outside to speak with our one and only, and selling everything we gathered along the way. On the 28th, I woke up feeling bittersweet, feeling pride in nearly being complete with this challenge, but also sad that this was the last day on my no-man farm. I walked out of my porch, took in all the success, looked at my over 37,000 gold, 3 times our normal goal, and instantly started destroying the crops that helped me get here. Look, they're gonna have no use for me today anyway, and we need the room to make our shrine to the queen herself, so it's fine. So after realizing taking down my crops and untilling the soil was wiping out my energy, I ran to Gus's to not only buy some salads to make sure we can get this job done, but I also bought Robin her last love gift of this run, a big plate of spaghetti. I ran up to her house, having no time to get emotional if we were going to get the shrine complete, gave her the spaghetti, took her beauty in one final time, tried to buy as much as I could from her, and went back down to get started on the construction. And I thought it would be fitting to build the majority of her shrine out of wood, since she constantly told me that's what she built her house from, and executed my vision, making a surprisingly hard pixel R in front of my house, surrounded by a heart of wood planks. I then put a semi-creepy sitting area in the middle, and stood in awe. I've done it. I've completed everything I wanted to in this challenge, all while effectively avoiding anyone gunning for my romantic heart, and went to bed with the satisfaction drifting me off to sleep one more time. This challenge was so much fun, and it was even more fun starting it with my community over on Twitch. I know I could have min-maxed this challenge a lot more, and even added more goals to it, but this was more for fun and to see if I could do something like this, as I haven't done many Stardew challenges. If you think I should keep this challenge going with more goals and love for Robin, definitely let me know down in the comments, or even come tell me which challenge I should complete next on my Twitch.